Hello everyone, LRon here with part 96 of my total Terraria world Annihilation. So, in case you're wondering about my compulsion for purple hair, it's that my Fallout 3 character and Fallout New Vegas character were essentially perfect clones of each other. So basically, by not having the right hair color, I could not follow suit and have the exact same character yet again, and that bugged me to death. And one more thing on the things I really don't like that happened on the Fallout 4 front. I'm going to call it the Daggerfall effect. So basically, some NPCs have some infinite knowledge of the universe. And even when you're perfectly hidden and maybe have nobody, within eyesight or even, within a 50-foot radius, they will still know that you picked up an item that belonged to them and will hate you for all eternity. This is called the Daggerfall effect because of the fact that in Daggerfall, there was a similar deal, only it was very widespread. Um, if you went into a merchant's house and went to the third floor where there's nobody on the second floor or third floor, and snuck with a perfect sneak and took an item from the shelf, 10 guards will come knocking on the door and do their halt, halt, halt. So you get the idea there. So basically, the idea that stealing has a chance of making everybody pissed at you is a big turnoff, especially when you are perfectly hidden and should have gotten away with it. So now I'm going to move on to my spoiler edition. That'll probably go until the end of the video slash cohort. So you heard that I did roughly 70 hours worth of farmvilling, and it technically wasn't 100% farmvilling. I also did all of the pre-Pwynduin Brotherhood of Steel quests as well. So finding the Paladin and doing a bunch of those stupid Radiant quests until I realized that they were Radiant quests and I wasn't advancing anything. Um, I did a pretty good job of avoiding Diamond City until that point, and so then I went to Diamond City, did all the various things I could there, avoided Nick Valentine for a long time, and kind of just generally, did a lot of non-main quest and a little main quest and, you know, back and forth, until I reached the point where the Prinduin came in, and it's like, oh, Brotherhood of Steel, this is my calling. Because as you know from the videos where I talked about New Vegas, I am a diehard Brotherhood of Steel person. That's why I consider the Yes Man ending to be the only true ending of New Vegas. Um, so, in any case, that sparked my interest, and I basically went full blast on the main quest, given the fact that it was pertaining to the Brotherhood of Steel. So, when I got into the Institute and encountered my son that's now older than me, the Sean guy that turns into father, head of the Institute, I did I basically did my rounds as he asked me to and left when I could. I also did all of the various side things that people wanted me to do, so I got the super mutant, his cure for super mutantism, and I recruited Dr. Lee for the Brotherhood. Um, so now back to what I was discussing in the previous video. I was essentially hoping for a way to basically make the Institute and the Brotherhood of Steel compromise. So basically, I was hoping to persuade Sean slash father into basically shutting down all the synths, destroying the capacity to make synths, and turn the institute into basically um, what it was minus synths. So have it still be, a research center that's for the good of humanity, but at the same time be kosher with the values of the Brotherhood of Steel. Maybe even merge the two together, and possibly even just have me become the elder so I can keep both sides in check. But of course, with the way these things are limited, I had to betray my own son and destroy the Institute completely. Um, Technically, I am fine with that, of course, but I kind of wish that there was a creative other option. And at this point, I have done most of Automatron. I am now inside the Mechanist's lair, which was hiding under the Brotherhood of Steel's noses for this whole time. And I've done enough of Far Harbor to uh, be allowed to use the boats to go to Far Harbor, but I haven't physically gone yet. Um, I use the full dialogues mod that basically makes it so that it's not Mass Effect style bullshit. Oh yeah, that was another thing that I hated in 4, but mods to the rescue. The dialogue system became Mass Effect style, where you're given one word and you have to guess what Commander Shepard, well, I guess in this case the lone survivor, is going to end up saying based on that one word. But someone got clever, made a mod, and so now you can see what you're really going to say. But without a few patches to that mod, the DLCs were immune to the effects of the mod. So I had to avoid those regions until after the patch was developed, and it has been developed at this point, and I am making use of it, so now I can actually move on with those DLCs. So now, notice something. It took me several videos to summarize my New Vegas playthrough, and at that point I had less hours into the game at that point than I do now for Fallout 4. So that just shows how bland and uneventful the game is in comparison to its predecessors. I honestly was fearing that I was going to have to leave a cliffhanger, but but with this cohort, and I don't plan to do another cohort for a while. Um, but looks like I am actually done talking about the spoilery part of Fallout 4, so, but I mean, there's not enough time, so I'm not going to put up the little thing that says, hey guys, it's safe, because what else am I going to say at this point? I mean, I'm really just filibustering the final minute and a half here, let's be frank. Oh, I guess it's noteworthy that last week I obtained Dark Souls 2, so the person I was playing Dark Souls 1 with and I are now working on that. I certainly have opinions on that, but certainly not enough time that I can do in this cohort, so I'm sure I will add that to some capacity in the next cohort. As I said before, expect a minimum of a couple months before the next cohort. I'll probably wrap up the entire project in that next cohort. So it might be a big cohort, so it's going to be big, and I'm not going to really work on it right away. So I will see you next cohort.